Greek Orthodox Christian. I would say that the similarities are about the same. There are some differences, but if you were to look at the historical relationship between Sunnis and Shias, it is nothing like what you see in Iraq going on right now. This is something that is very new and very peculiar. There have been battles and there has been armed conflict with Sunnis and Shias, but nothing like this in the amount of bloodshed and to the protraction of time. There are many Sunnis and Shias in America, as in the Middle East, who are intermarried. I mean, prior to the invasion, there were Sunnis and Shias who were intermarried. Other countries like Lebanon. There are countries right now where Sunnis and Shias live together in peace, no problem. Azerbaijan, majority Shia country, and the Sunnis get along there pretty well. Bahrain is a majority Shia. Tanzania, there are Sunnis, majority Sunni, but there are Shia there. And they get along pretty well. There's intermarriage. They do business together, business ventures, and things of this nature. Yes, sir.
Earlier you said concerning religion, that religion is for God and not the acceptance of human beings. Could you elaborate on that? I think I understand it, just a little elaboration.
There's a verse in the Quran that says, fight until there's no more. There's a lot of ways you can translate this word. It's fitna. It's translated as chaos, confusion. It also has a context of oppression in this verse. It says, fight until there is no more oppression so that religion is free for God. Not that religion is free for the Christian, or the religion is free for the Muslim, or the religion is free for me. Being that the soul of the human being belongs to the soul of that human being. That soul belongs to God. It doesn't belong to me. If a person wants to worship God, that's up to them and their personal relationship to God. And no human being has a right to tell another human being to impose their will upon them about how they worship God. This is basically what I was saying. Yes, ma'am.
Have you gone into the Islam faith, or is that part of your faith journey when you converted?
Personal question. I was born Muslim. However, my mother is a Christian, and my parents split up, and she did what any good Baptist woman from Virginia would do, and that means she sent me to church. So I went to church, and by the time I was 15, I didn't go. My father had put too much in my mind and had taught me to think of certain things that I saw. I didn't agree to ask questions that didn't satisfy me. And by the time I turned 21, then I basically began to fully practice my religion. I'm 35 right now. So. Yes? First of all, we would say if someone comes to Islam from another religion, we would say they reverted to Islam, not converted. Because it is the theological belief of Muslims that all human beings are born Muslim. Muslim in Arabic language means one who submits, meaning one who submits their will to God. Islam is the religion of submitting one's will to God. And we believe that in the nature of all created things, they are created to, based upon their nature and their instincts, to follow a certain way based upon their created nature. So, the sun is a Muslim. According to Muslims. The moon is a Muslim. Or a tree is a Muslim. Or a cat is a Muslim in its purest sense. So we believe that human beings are all born with a will that submits or is inclined with the original nature of human beings, and it is their parents or it is their environment that takes them out of this submissive will and turns them into something else. So in Islamic theology, we believe that the first human being, Adam was a Muslim. We believe that Moses was a Muslim. Abraham was a Muslim. We believe that Jesus Christ was a Muslim, according to the pure definition of Islam. Now, to become a Muslim, all one has to do is believe in two things: that there is nothing worthy of worship except for one God, and that Prophet Muhammad is the messenger of God. He's the last prophet of God. He's the prophet that came after Jesus Christ. Once one makes this statement called Shahada or Shahadatain, once one makes this statement, then they are they're a Muslim. Without even knowing the other things that come along with it, one can learn that. The Prophet Muhammad, a man came to him and asked him, "Tell me something about Islam that no one else can tell me." He gave a very short and sweet answer. He said, "Believe in God, then be upright." So, if you want to know what it means to be a Muslim in its basic sense, believe in God and be an upright human being. That's what it means at the most rudimentary level of being a Muslim. Yes, ma'am. No, there are no more prophets after Prophet Muhammad, and we believe that Jesus is the only prophet who will come back and return. He's the only one. So Jesus has that special distinction, and this is one reason why he is called Messiah. He's called Messiah in the Quran. Jesus is the only person called Messiah in the Quran. No, Muhammad is not given the title Messiah. And we don't worship Muhammad either, by the way. We're not Mohammedans, we're Muslims. We don't worship Prophet Muhammad. We follow him in his personal example, in his ethical teachings. Looks like that's about it. Thank you very much. And there's one more. Yes, ma'am.
Does Islam trace back to Abraham?
Yes, ma'am. The Islamic religion in the Quran, it is called, in the Quran, Millatun Ibrahim. It means the way, the path, the order of Abraham. And there is a verse in the Quran that says that none but one who would make himself look foolish would deny the religion of Abraham. This is a verse in the Quran. So we believe that just as Jews believe that they follow the religion of Abraham, and Christians believe they follow the religion of Abraham, Muslims believe that the teachings of Prophet Muhammad are an extension of the religion of Abraham.
Is it doesn't trace to the family?
Yes, Prophet Muhammad is a blood descendant of Ishmael, the firstborn of Abraham. And this is something else, let me tell you too, that Muslims believe that Isaac was a prophet, and we believe that Ishmael was a prophet, and we believe that they taught the same message, and we don't believe that there was any conflict between those. We don't believe that they were ever at odds or fighting with each other. We don't believe that. We believe that Ishmael spoke to a group of people at one time in one area, and during the same time, Isaac taught the same monotheism, the same religion of Abraham in another area. So that's something, I'm glad you mentioned that. The conflict was between the women. Okay. With that, I will conclude. Thank you very much for your attentiveness and for your questions. May God's peace be with you. I say, Assalamu alaikum.